Okay, hello. We're going to review how to analyze a poem, practice on a poem by Gwendolyn Brooks called The Bean Eaters, a wonderful poem. And then your work after this video will be to repeat that process on a poem called Letter of Resignation, which is under topics on SIS in the poetry folder. And you also had it handed out in class today. Very important is that when I tell you to pause during this video, you pause and do the things I'm telling you to do, which is going to be to analyze the poem The Bean Eaters by Gwendolyn Brooks on your own. If you do not pause and go right into hearing my interpretation of the poem, it will be very hard for you to find your own interpretation because mine will sort of get in the way of you being able to see anything else. So when I say pause, pause the video. Very important. Yes? Good. All right, let's review the process for how to analyze a poem. Read it twice. Pause between readings. Think about it. Annotate it for appreciation, whatever you notice. Annotate it for poetic devices. Fill out a poem chart. Write a thesis of the poem's meaning, journey, story, attempt. Then choose which poetic devices are important in helping the poem achieve that meaning. Then you go on and write your analysis. We're not going to do that today, though. Just those 6 steps. All right, here we go into The Bean Eaters. We'll read it once. The Bean Eaters by Gwendolyn Brooks. They eat beans mostly, this old yellow pair. Dinner is a casual affair. Plain chipware on a plain and creaking wood. Tin flatware. 2 who are mostly good. 2 who have lived their day, but keep on putting on their clothes and putting things away. And remembering with twinklings and twinges, as they lean over the beans in their rented back room that is full of beads and receipts and dolls and cloths, tobacco crumbs, vases and fringes. All right, so now you should read the poem again, but why don't you read it aloud to yourself? So pause the video and read it again. Okay, welcome back. You've read the poem a second time. It is now time to annotate the poem for things that you appreciate. So once again, you will pause the video and annotate for whatever jumps out at you, whatever you appreciate. Okay, pause. Okay, welcome back. You annotated for appreciation. Now let's see what I annotated for appreciation. Whoops, that's devices. Annotating for appreciation. I compared beans, they're eating beans with their yellowness, thought that was fun. Chipware and creaking wood I loved, I wrote ooh. And for creaking wood I wrote, is that a table? How interesting, what an interesting way to describe it. Thought it was intriguing that mostly and good were capitalized when they're not normally capitalized. I loved lived their day. I thought the but here was unusual. I loved the effect of the repetition of putting on their clothes and putting things away. I feel like something else is going on there. Thought twinklings and twinges was beautiful. I thought as they lean over the beans was an interesting switch of the tone or the mood from these 2 lines to what we have here. And at the end I felt like, even though I had read it twice, that it felt unended and that I wanted to read it again. I had to get a better sense of it. Okay, so now it's time to annotate the poem for poetic devices in addition to whatever you appreciated about it. So now, once again, it's important to pause the poem and annotate for poetic devices before you see how I annotated for poetic devices. So pause. Okay, welcome back. Let's see how I annotated for devices. I found the speaker in the they that tipped me off to the fact that it's a 3rd person omniscient speaker, along with dinner is a casual affair. The speaker knows lots about this couple when they have dinner and that it's casual. I found the rhyme scheme and made notes of that at the end. I noticed that this is the only line that doesn't have rhyme in it. I loved the alliteration and the assonance of twinklings and twinges. I noticed a tonal shift in this stanza from the previous. Noticed the capitalization, thought there was interesting diction here, noticed repetition here, 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 and here. Imagery here, and those are just some of the devices you could notice. All right, so now it's time to fill out the poem chart, step 4. So once you are ready, take your annotated copy of the poem and fill out the poem chart. and then join me when you are done. So pause and fill out the poem chart. All right, welcome back. Here is my poem chart for Bean Eaters. So you can pause right now and take time to read what I have here in each of the categories. It's also shared with you in the Poetry Topics folder. Here's what I have for poetic devices, if you want to pause and check these out, or check out the document in the poetry folder, in the Poetry Topics folder on SIS. Okay. After reviewing what I wrote, it's time to write your own thesis. So get your ducks in a row, get ready to pause, and remember that your thesis both has to record what you think the poem's story or goal, what the poem is about, and it also needs to talk about what poetic devices you think are important in having the poem achieve its goal or its story. So you could have it 2 sentences, you could have it 1, a compound sentence with a semicolon. So when you're ready, pause the video and write your thesis. Pause. Okay, welcome back. Let's look at my thesis. Okay. Here we go. I said, mine is 3 sentences. The poem achieves a bemused and gentle portrait of an elderly couple who, despite their cluttered and unglamorous current surroundings, lived mysterious and personally meaningful lives. The poem is about beauty amid rubble, nostalgic reflection on a past from a dingy present. Brooks's poem achieves its meaning through the titular, a positive phrase, the tension between material surroundings and inner moral character, and influential repetition. So here is these 2 sentences. Well, this first sentence, I tell what I think the poem is about. Here I sort of talk about the theme of the poem or one of the tensions, so another way of talking about of stating what I think the poem is about. And here I list my poetic devices. A titular, a positive phrase. Titular means in the title. Tension, and what the tension is between, and then another poetic device, repetition, that is influential. And just because I've chosen those, in the analysis I might write of this, I could mention other poetic devices too. I'm just listing 3 that I'll definitely focus on. And then here I have more of what I would include in my analysis of this. This is shared with you on SIS under Poetry Topics, so you can take a look at it there. So now you are moving on to Letter of Resignation by William Bear, which you have handed out, and it's also under the poetry topic. So off you go to repeat this process for Letter of Resignation. Once again, this is what you'll be doing. Good luck. See you tomorrow.